Hi guys! Today I'm gonna be showing you how to make these beautiful glow beats. These are my favorite type of like glow beats, whatever you want to call them. These are my favorite ones. So I'm gonna show you how to make these. Make sure y'all watch it carefully so you can make these like how I make them, or at least something very similar. I feel like these are kind of like a Jace and Chief Keef like mix type of beat, you know? These beats are not really hard. You just have to have the ear for it. Like, they're pretty simple. Just make sure it sounds beautiful. Make sure it got like some soul in it. Like, you should feel something when you listen to these beats. To give you guys a little preview of what the beat's gonna sound like, I'm gonna go ahead and play a little snippet of the beat now for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all the breakdown for this beat. So the first thing I'm gonna go over is the melody. It's gonna be at 150 BPM. That's like my most used BPM ever for all of my beats. I don't know, I just like that one. You can even go up to like 153, 152, somewhere around that realm. I use SRX, Orchestra, and Xenology. That's like the main VSTs I use for these type of beats because they have like all the orchestral sounds, string sounds, and trap sounds. The first sound I went ahead and got is an SRX Orchestra, and it's the Warm Vins preset. It's literally like the first sound in the strings, like when you load the VST up. And so for this sound, all I did was make like some simple like bass notes and made like little chords, I guess you would call them, and I strummed them some to give it more like that effect that it's like it sounds more real. So all I did was just mess with the velocities a little bit to give it more of that real feel, you know, that depth. And so that's what this sounds like. On that one for effects, all I did was like kind of boost the highs and a little bit of the mid to give like, you want the strings to stand out more. Like you want to add a little bit of high in your beats to make your beat and sound stand out. Because you don't want them just to sound plain, because then it's like, it's not going to sound as interesting. And so I went ahead and got this same preset and I just made these high strings in it. A very simple pattern, and this is what that sounds like. And all I did on this sound again is just boosted the highs a little bit. The next sound, I just got this Biggie Brass from SRX Orchestra, and I just took the bass notes from my original MIDI and I just copied them in here and pasted it, and then this is what that sounds like. On that one, I just boosted the lows a little more since it's the brass and it's gonna be the bass notes. And then I boosted the highs just a little bit. So for my next sound, I got Brass FF and XRX again. And I just went ahead and made another MIDI for my brass. It's gonna be like the accent brass for the beat. And I just messed with the velocities a little bit to give it more depth and whatnot. And this is what that sounds like. And for that song, all I did was add another EQ, boost a little bit of the lows, and boost a little bit of the highs. My next song, I got this bell from XRX. I made it like a very simple but catchy pattern. For that sound, I didn't add any like effects on it or anything. I then went ahead and got this hit from XRX, and it sounds like this. And for that sound, I didn't add any effects on it. I just wanted like the bass of that sound to go with the bass of my brass. For my next sound, I went in Xenology and I got this pocket brass, and this is what that sounds like. That like lead preset just reminds me of like Jace beats. Then I went in Xenology again and I got another lead, and I just laid down a simple pattern, and this is what that sounds like. All I did for these two lead patterns is I just took the first one and then I just shifted an octave up on this next 4 bars. And I messed with the velocities a little bit. On this lead, I actually added a delay and put it on ping pong and panned it. Alright, so that's gonna be it for the entire melody, and I'm gonna play it for y'all so you can hear what it sounds like all together. So now we can go ahead and move on to the drums. These are very simple drums, not too complicated. First sound I went ahead and got was this clap. And that was gonna be the Lex clap. Went ahead and got this classic cymbal. I then went ahead and laid down this sour hi-hat, and it's just a regular 2-step pattern, nothing crazy. Next I grabbed this Kiko snare 2, and I laid down a simple snare pattern, and this is what that sounds like. And that's gonna be like my accent snare to the clap. And for my next sound, I got this triangle. And then I went ahead and grabbed this chant. This is all the trap community's like favorite chant to use. Why? And then for my 808, I grabbed this Spins 808 and I just laid down a simple pattern, and it sounds like this. The drums, this is what they're gonna sound like all together. And for the arrangement, I never do too much. I put an EQ at the beginning of the beat and like in the little pockets so you can hear the bass of the sounds and so you can hear the brass. And all I did was take the drum pattern and I just took it and scooted it back 4 bars for the intro, and I let the melody play out and then the drums hit, and then my tag, I just put it right here where the drums are. And for my mix, I never really do too much, just put a soft clipper on the master. Make sure you level your sounds so they sound good to your ear. And if you guys like this beat, let me know. I can drop more tutorials on these type of beats. Let me know who you guys can hear on this beat. Hopefully you guys can learn from this video on how to make these type of beats. If you haven't already, just go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. And follow me on all my socials. It's going to be at TheRealAV. And I'll see you guys next Friday.